Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're mapping out the founder's path to scale. Now, if you've been paying any attention to the business world lately, you know we're in an absolute flood of new AI tools right now. But our mission today is shifting your focus from blindly collecting all those shiny new apps to strategically building a self-sustaining business. I mean, are you just sprinting on a treadmill of new software? Well, today we're going to look at how to stop sprinting and start spinning.
Right off the bat, we've got to address the elephant in the room. As Sandeep Swadia, the CEO and investor who's guided AI companies worth literally billions, makes incredibly clear, just using a few shiny new tools won't get you anywhere. There is absolutely no magic, get-rich-quick button here. To achieve true scale, you need a fundamental structural shift in how you operate as a founder. It really isn't about the software itself, it's about what you actually build with it.
Okay, so let's dive into this by establishing our main goal, the flywheel. Think of this as a self-sustaining business loop where leads create sales, sales create delivery, and then that delivery creates a stellar reputation, which of course just drives more leads. You want a system that learns to run faster and smoother all by itself, even while you sleep. And let's be real, that's something most burnt-out founders desperately need. The tools we're going to talk about today aren't just isolated apps. They're the gears that actually make this flywheel turn.
To get us there, we'll follow this roadmap. First, the flywheel mindset. Second, generating and warming leads. Third, closing without the friction. Fourth, delivering digital products fast. And finally, automating for true scale.
Starting with step 1, the flywheel mindset, debugging your mind for scale. Because honestly, before you write a single line of code or set up one app, you have to upgrade your own mindset to embrace interconnected systems instead of just looking for isolated quick fixes. And that brings us right into section 2. Generating and warming leads, shifting from volume to extreme quality. You see, most businesses don't actually fail because their product is bad. They fail because they simply can't find enough of the right people to sell it to.
The core problem with traditional lead gen is that most founders are using a telescope. They focus purely on high volume, vanity metrics, and these massive email blasts where maybe 10 people reply out of 1,000. It's just a brutal numbers game. What you actually need is a microscope. You need to focus on highly targeted lead quality and persona fit. By using an AI sales engine like Apollo, you're not just blasting the whole internet. You can pull highly specific targets, like you could ask for all CTOs of fintech companies with less than 500 employees based in New York. You pinpoint your exact ideal customer right out of the gate. Once you have that hyper-targeted list, you need to add a human layer. And that's where Clay's data enrichment comes in. This is the exact same tool hypergrowth companies like OpenAI use. Clay takes your list and instantly enriches it with real-world data, emails, job titles, work experience, education, even press mentions, and social media profiles. Doing this manually used to take hours of agonizing research, right? Now it's instant. And when you deeply personalize your outreach with this kind of data, you're planting a memory seed. Even if they don't reply right away, or even if they send you to spam, you've shown you did your homework. When they are ready to buy, they're going to remember you.
But think about this number for a second, 100. You are literally 100 times more likely to reach a prospect if you respond to their inquiry within 5 minutes. If you wait just half an hour, they've already moved on. Yet only a crazy 7% of companies actually pull this off. Generating a lead is absolutely useless if you don't warm them up fast.
If you miss that window, you fall into the silent gap. This is the graveyard where unnurtured leads and potential revenue completely disappear. It is every founder's worst nightmare. To bridge this gap, you need a digital sales rep that never forgets a follow-up. Like Brevo, most leads need about 6 to 8 gentle touches before they respond. Brevo just automates those touches, ensuring they actually happen without you having to think about it. And when they finally are warm, you pair it with something like Calendly so they can instantly book a meeting. No friction, no endless back and forth emails, just a seamless transition right into a conversation.
Okay, moving to section 3, closing without the friction, securing the signature. So you've generated intent, you've got them on the hook. Now, how do you actually turn that into revenue?
Well, this number should be a massive wake-up call. According to Gartner, 60% of deals fall through after purchase intent is already clear. Why? Friction. Every single extra step, every delay, every clunky proposal process just kills your momentum. Success is so often just one signature away, but businesses choke at the finish line because they just make it too hard for the customer to say yes.
To remove that friction, you've got to master the proposal. Human brains remember 65% of visual information compared to a measly 15% of text. That makes a visual AI generation tool like Gamma an absolute game changer for slide decks, PDFs, social posts, and web pages. Instead of stressing out for days formatting a pitch deck, you just type simple English prompts like "build a pitch for an eco-friendly fashion brand," and Gamma auto-generates a polished visual presentation in literally under a minute. It's incredibly fast and grabs attention effortlessly.
But, a pretty proposal doesn't mean much if your backend is total chaos. Airtable and Stripe let you track the pipeline and collect payments without the heavy corporate overhead. Managing a pipeline of messy spreadsheets is a total disaster, but Airtable gives you the structure you need. And then Stripe flawlessly handles one-time payments, subscriptions, the whole shebang. In the past, companies paid for a $360,000 revenue operations team just to reconcile this stuff. Today, you do it for a tiny fraction of the cost.
All right, Section 4, delivering digital products fast, driving repeat business. Because closing the deal is only half the battle, right? Reliable delivery is what actually keeps them coming back.
In fact, McKinsey found that consumers are 2.5 times more likely to buy again if delivery happens within 24 hours of purchase. Speed is basically a drug to consumers. It's that Amazon Prime effect. If you deliver before they even have time to feel buyer's remorse, you lock in their loyalty and keep that flywheel spinning.
So how exactly do you ship? For digital products, it usually boils down to apps or assets. For apps, you can use Lovable to instantly build working software from plain language text prompts. You can build a lead capture page with a checkout in minutes, entirely skipping weeks of coding. On the flip side, for digital assets like courses or templates, Gumroad acts as an invisible warehouse for instant digital delivery. The exact moment they click buy, Gumroad handles the payment, the taxes, and instantly delivers the asset globally.
And that brings us to our final milestone, Section 5. Automating for true scale, the flawless handoff. This is where we link everything together so the business scales infinitely without dropping the ball.
Think of it like a relay race. Automation is what passes the baton smoothly from one application to the next. So many founders don't realize that systems break down exactly at the handoff point. A lead signs up on your site, but the CRM doesn't update. A customer asks for a refund, but the email doesn't trigger. Without automation passing that baton, you aren't actually scaling, you're just creating a ton of manual work for yourself.
This is where you bring in a platform like Zapier. Let's say you have a super simple workflow. Step 1, a lead fills out a form. Step 2, they're added to Google Sheets. Step 3, a Slack alert is triggered to your phone. And Step 4, a welcome email is sent. Zapier handles this flawlessly. It is perfectly stable, hands-free, and great for your first 100 automations while you figure out how your processes actually work.
But as you scale up, Zapier charges per task, which gets expensive. That's when you'll want to compare it with a tool like NN. While Zapier is great for beginners and those first 100 tasks, NN is best for complex AI reasoning at scale and gives you complete cost control. NN even features what we call vibe automation. You literally build massive, complex workflows just by chatting with an AI in plain English. It is absolutely the future of going from 0 to 60 in 60 seconds.
So, to wrap this all up, clarity beats complexity every time. You don't need to master every single tool today. Your goal is just to pick one good enough tool, embrace the learning curve, and start connecting those dots. Every new growth phase feels painful, right up until it doesn't. The tools are all here. The roadmap is clear. So which one tool will you use today to start spinning your flywheel? Pick one and let your business learn to run itself.